I won't talk for very long tonight, but what I say will be extremely important. I promise you. No. It is true that I go into Julie's computers every night. I go into Sue's as well, and Kalina's and Angela's now as well. I obviously don't literally go into everyone's computer. We have a piece of software that operates on those computers, and every night it looks at their important business files and backs them up. So does everyone here know what a computer backup is? Put your hand up if you know what a computer backup is. Leave your hand up if you actually do a computer backup. All right, that's good. Because tonight I'm not going to talk about... regularly. Exactly, yes. So tonight I'm not actually going to talk about backup at all, because backup actually isn't important, not important at all. The most important thing with your computer files is if you do backup, to actually test, restore your files and make sure they work. So out of those people that do a backup, how many have actually ever tested to see if those files work if they needed to restore them? Not even my customers whose computer I get into every night and go and look at. So I should have told you that. That's more important than my service. Absolutely. I'm just going to tell you now a bit of a story to sort of reinforce that point. So as I said, we run a piece of software that runs on our customer's computer, and it looks at their files every night, packs them up, and sends them off. Before it sends them off, it protects them with a password. And we don't know that password. That's the customer's password. So every night, a piece of software picks up their files and sends them off. And every morning, we look through our logs in our server and we say, yep, that customer has delivered us files overnight. Everything looks to be working correctly there. Or there was a missed backup from this person. We can contact them and say, look, we think there's a problem. We missed a schedule last night. So about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I had a call from an IT person who looks after one of my backup customers. And they'd lost 3 servers in one night, just completely disappeared. And we do their off-site backup, which I looked in our information, and sure enough, all their drives are all there. All 4 drives were listed there. All had activity within the last day or so, so we knew new files had been added into those backup directories. And we were able to go back out to site with a big hard drive with 140,000 files over the last 6 years of business, and give them those files back. And that was all well and good. All their network directory and all their accounting files were all there, up to date, everything was great. Except there was one piece of software which that company used. It was their day-to-day business software. And every transaction or every dealing with their customers, everything that they do would get entered into that one piece of software. And that software was being looked after by the vendor of that software. And every night they'd do a backup, and they'd put it into one of the directories we back up, and we'd take that information and back it up. And that would have been fantastic, except the information they were putting into our backup directory was from 2006. So they just lost, let's say, the work hours for 10 to 12 people from every day for the last 4 to 5 years. Fortunately, the backup company, when they tested a restore from their own data last November, had put that information into the backup directories that we look after, and inadvertently we'd back that up. But that only got them back to November last year. So they had people coming in to do data entry for 3 weeks straight, processing everything that had already been processed before back into their software. So it's all well and good to do a backup, but it means nothing unless you've tested the data that's on there. So as I said, we offer a service, but it's no better than if you were to go to your hard drive every night, put in a USB drive, like I'm sure many of you do, back it up, maybe even keep it somewhere safe. That's well and good. If you can do that every night, that's perfect, as long as you actually test that it's working. And I think about every backup disaster story I've ever heard has been from people who've gone back to their reliable backup, only to find that it hasn't been working for X amount of months. So that's just my point for tonight, that backups are one thing, testing them and actively doing a program to making sure they work is probably the most important thing about your backups. That's it. Thank you. Probably should have told you that.